Good evening, boys and girls, and welcome to tonight's lesson. It's lesson 12.6 and 12.7. Our essential question is, how can you use models to compare metric units of length, mass, and volume? Tonight we're going to be working on two different pages, but first I'd like for you to turn to page 231 and write down our essential question, and let's get started. And for the first half of tonight's video, we're going to be working with metric units of length. And it's very important to remember when we're working with metric units of length that they are in bases of 10. So for example, 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. And remember, millimeters are very, very small. So it takes 10 millimeters to equal 1 centimeter. And 1 decimeter equals 10 centimeters. 1 meter is 10 decimeters. 1 meter is also 100 centimeters, and 1 meter is also 1,000 millimeters. You see how we add the 0 as we move on, which means we are doubling by 10. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 1 so we see how they got their answer. It says 4 meters is equal to blank centimeters. Now they've already done this, but we're going to pretend like they haven't. The first thing we need to do is draw our model. So I see 4 meters is equal to blank centimeters. I need to go ahead and I need to draw 4 lines to represent my 4 meters. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if I look back up in my metric units of length chart, I see that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So in each of these blanks, I need to write 100. So 100, 100, 100, and 100. And if I add all of these up, I get 400. And it's also saying 100 times 4. And I know that that equals 400. So I know that 4 meters is equal to 400 centimeters. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 2. Number 2 is saying 8 centimeters equals how many millimeters? So I'm going to go ahead and draw my model. So I'm going to represent 8 centimeters by drawing 8 blanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as I look in my chart, I can see millimeters versus centimeters is right at the top. I see that 1 of these centimeters equals 10 millimeters. So I'm going to go ahead and write 10 in each of my 8 spots. 10 and 10, 8 times. Because 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. And if I add all of those up, or multiply, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. So 8 centimeters is equal to 80 millimeters. All right, everybody, now it's time for you to go ahead and try one on your own. Number 3, we're looking at 5 meters is equal to how many decimeters? Go ahead and pause the video and work out your problems. Don't forget to draw your model and push play when you're ready to check it. All right, it's time for us to go ahead and check our work. Take a look at my answer. I got 50 decimeters is equal to 5 meters. I went ahead and drew my model, represented 5 meters, and I know that 1 meter is equal to 10 decimeters. So I added 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 decimeters. And as we continue on, we're still looking at page 231. Now that's going to change soon, so make sure you're paying attention. Page 231 is where we still are, and we're going to compare using less than, greater than, or an equal to sign. Well, if you take a look at number 6, we really can't compare them because they're in different metric units of length. I have 8 meters on the left and I have 80 centimeters on the right. So we have to change this. And the easiest way to change it is to represent 8 meters and convert it into centimeters. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and draw my 8 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 lines. And I'm going to see, when I look at my metric units of length, 80 meters compared to 80 centimeters. So I'm going to see what meters is versus centimeters. So I see that 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So I'm going to go ahead and write 100 in each of these blanks. So 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, and 100. And I take a look and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 times 100, which equals 800. And now we can compare 800 centimeters to 80 centimeters. And I know that 800 is greater than my 80. All right, boys and girls, it is time for you to go ahead and try one on your own. I'd like for you to try number 7. You're going to go ahead and represent the 3 decimeters and 30 centimeters. And you're going to go ahead and see if you can do less than, greater than, or equal to. See what it comes out to be. Go ahead and do that on your own in your Go Math book, and we're going to go ahead and check in just a moment. All right, it's time for us to go ahead and check our work. I represented my 3 decimeters down here, and as I look back in my chart, I see that 1 decimeter is equal to 10 centimeters. So I know that it's 10, 20, and 30. Or 10 times 3 is 30. So 30 centimeters compared to 30 centimeters is equal. So 30 centimeters is equal to 30 centimeters. How'd you do? I know you did just great. Let's move on. And we're still on page 231. We're going to take a look at number 10 and number 11. We're going to describe the length in meters, and we're going to write our answer as a fraction and as a decimal. Now, this should be pretty easy since our decimal system and our metric units of length system, they're both in units of 10. So this should be pretty easy. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's take a look at number 10. Number 10 says 43 centimeters equals how many meters? Well, if we take a look at our metric units of length system, we have a problem because it takes 100 centimeters to equal 1 meter. So do we have enough, boys and girls, to make even 1 meter? No, we don't. Because remember, if we had 100 here, we could just make 1. But we don't even have 100, we only have 43. So we now have to write that in a decimal and a fraction. In order to help me solve this problem, I'm going to go ahead and draw my place value chart down here with my decimal. Now remember, if we have a 1, we put it here, decimal, tenths, and hundredths. So let's go ahead and see what we have. So remember, we don't even have 1 meter because 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So let's take a look at what a meter is out of. A meter would be out of 100 centimeters, so that's our denominator. And our numerator is going to be 43 because that's how many centimeters we have. So we have 43 centimeters is equal to 43 100ths of a meter. And now let's go ahead and make it as a decimal. I know in order to turn this into a decimal, it's easy to draw my place value chart. We have no ones and we have 43 hundredths. So our decimal is no ones and 43 hundredths. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at number 11, everybody. Number 11 says 6 decimeters is equal to blank meters. Well, let's take a look at how many decimeters are in 1 meter. There are 10 decimeters in 1 meter. So again, we don't even have 1 whole meter. So let's go ahead and put that in fraction and decimal form. Now, in order for us to create a fraction, we have to see what our denominator is going to be. And again, I see 10 decimeters will equal 1 meter. So I know my denominator will be 10. Our numerator, we only have 6 decimeters. So we're going to have 6 as our numerator. So 6 tenths of our fraction. And now let's go ahead and figure out our decimal. Now you guys know how to convert a fraction to a decimal, so let's go ahead and do so. I have no wholes, and I have 6 tenths, so that's our decimal. So we have that 6 decimeters is equal to 6 tenths, or 6 tenths of a meter. And now I need you to go ahead and do me a favor, switch over to page 233. Once again, we are switching to page 233. I'll go ahead and give you a moment to do that. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and push play. All right, everybody, double check that you're on page 233 with me. We're going to take a look at number 1. We are using now metric units of mass and metric units of liquid volume. So I know I have 5 liters, and it says blank millimeters. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 liters. And if I look up the top, I know that 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. So in each of the blanks should be 1,000. So now I'm going to go ahead and count this. Oops. 1,000. So I'm going to go ahead and count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I know that 5 liters is equal to 5,000 milliliters. And now we're going to move on to number 2, everybody. Number 2 says 3 kilograms is equal to how many grams? Well, if we take a look at our chart, we see that 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw my 3 kilograms, 1, 2, and 3. And I know that each of those kilograms is equal to 1,000 grams. So as I go ahead and draw this out, I can also do 1,000 times 3, and that will give me 3,000 grams. So 3 kilograms is equal to 3,000 grams. All right, boys and girls, it is your time to do it, and I know that you can do it. So I'm going to let you do number 3, 4, and 5 all on your own. And again, I know you can do it. So go ahead and do that. Draw your models, and I know that you're going to do awesome. Go ahead, pause the video, and whenever you're ready to check, go ahead and push play. Go ahead, everybody. Do your best. I know you can do it. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and check our answers. Number 3 is 8 liters is equal to 8,000 milliliters. Number 4, 7 kilograms is equal to 7,000 grams. Number 5, 9 liters is equal to 9,000 milliliters. How'd you do? I know you did awesome. Let's go ahead and keep working. All right, boys and girls, we are still on page 233, and we're actually taking a look at comparing. And we're going to compare metric units of mass and metric units of liquid volume, and we're going to compare them using less than, greater than, or equal to. My first question is number 8. It says 8 kilograms is something to 850 grams. Well, if I take a look at my chart up top, I know that 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So my number 8 says 8 kilograms, and I have to change it to grams because I can't compare two different metric units of mass. So if I convert 8 kilograms into grams, I'm going to have 8,000 grams. And I'm comparing it to 850 grams. Now, how I got that, boys and girls, is I just took my 8 kilograms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then I know that 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams, so I went ahead and thought, okay, well, I know that 1,000 8 times is going to give me 8,000. And if you need to, you can go ahead and write it out. That's no problem. So I know that 8,000 grams is greater than 850 grams. So therefore, 8 kilograms is greater than 850 grams. And we're moving right along to number 9. Number 9 says 3 liters, so we're now on metric units of liquid volume, is equal to 3,500 milliliters. Well, I know that 3 liters, 1, 2, 3, and each of those liters has 1,000 milliliters in it. So 1,000 times 3 is 3,000 milliliters. So when I compare the two, I know that 3,000 milliliters is less than 3,500 milliliters. So I know that 3 liters is less than 3,500 milliliters. And here we are at our very last problem of the night. Go ahead and make sure you're still on page 233 and make sure you're writing down everything that I'm writing down as well. I went ahead and put our charts up top just in case we needed them. Number 12, we're going to be looking at number 12 right now. Kenny buys 4 1-liter bottles of water. How many milliliters of water does Kenny buy? Now, it did not tell us how many milliliters, but we know that 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters, so we can go ahead and figure that out pretty easy. I know that I have 4 bottles of water. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I know that I can just take 4 and multiply it by my milliliters, which is 1,000. And that will give me 4,000. And if you need to go ahead and check your work, go ahead and draw your blanks, your models. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to write 1,000 in each of them. Still will give you 4,000 milliliters. So Kenny buys 4,000 milliliters of water. All right, everybody, it is time for us to do our homework, and please make sure you're paying attention to what I'm about to tell you. We're going to do homework on 2 different pages tonight, so when you come in tomorrow, I need to see that numbers 1 and 2 only are done on page 232, and numbers 1 and 2 only are done on page 234. Please make sure you're only doing the total of 4 problems and on 2 different pages, 232 and 234. And at the bottom of page 234, please go ahead and assess yourself. Here is our chart. Go ahead and tell me if you are a novice, apprentice, practitioner, or expert. Thank you so much for tuning in with me tonight, boys and girls. Have a great evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.